It was really a huge, project.
Some voices don't just entertain us, they become part of our lives. They play in our happiest moments, our heartbreaks, our road trips, our weddings, and sometimes even our darkest nights. But every legendary voice eventually falls silent. Today, the world is saying goodbye to one of music's most unforgettable icons, Bonnie Tyler. On July 8, 2026, the music world lost one of its most recognizable voices. Bonnie Tyler, the legendary Welsh singer whose powerful, raspy vocals defined an entire generation, passed away at the age of 75 after a prolonged period of hospitalization in Faro, Portugal. While millions of fans across the globe were still trying to process the heartbreaking news, something extraordinary happened. Portugal's parliament, an institution that rarely pays tribute to foreign entertainers, unanimously approved a formal vote of condolence. It was a remarkable gesture that instantly caught international attention. But what made Bonnie Tyler so special that an entire nation's lawmakers chose to honor her? The answer lies in a story that goes far beyond chart-topping songs. Long before she became a global superstar, Bonnie Tyler was simply Gaynor Hopkins, born in a small Welsh town with dreams that seemed impossible. She wasn't born into fame or wealth. She grew up in an ordinary working-class family where music was a passion rather than a profession. Yet destiny had something extraordinary planned for her. In the late 1970s, a health condition forced her to undergo surgery on her vocal cords. Doctors warned her to remain silent during recovery, but like many determined artists, she couldn't resist speaking too soon. That decision permanently changed her voice forever. What many believed was the end of her career unexpectedly became the beginning of her legend. That distinctive husky voice would later become one of the most recognizable sounds in music history. Everything changed in 1978 when It's a Heartache exploded onto international charts. The emotional ballad introduced the world to a singer whose voice carried genuine pain and raw emotion unlike anything audiences had heard before. Millions connected with her authenticity. She wasn't trying to sound perfect, she sounded real. And that honesty made people fall in love with her music, but nothing could prepare the world for what happened in 1983. Bonnie Tyler released Total Eclipse of the Heart, a dramatic power ballad that became one of the greatest songs ever recorded. It reached #1 in both the United Kingdom and the United States, dominating radio stations across the globe. Even today, more than 4 decades later, the song continues to trend on streaming platforms, appears in films, television shows, sporting events, and social media videos, introducing Bonnie Tyler to entirely new generations. Very few songs achieve that kind of timeless legacy. As the years passed, Bonnie Tyler refused to disappear. While many artists faded after the 1980s, she continued touring worldwide, performing sold-out concerts, and proving that true legends never lose their audience. In 2013, she proudly represented the United Kingdom at the Eurovision Song Contest, reminding Europe that her passion for music remained as strong as ever. Then, in 2023, King Charles III appointed her as a member of the Order of the British Empire, recognizing decades of extraordinary service to music. It was one of the highest honors any British artist could receive, confirming what fans had known for years: that Bonnie Tyler was far more than just a singer. She was a cultural icon, yet perhaps the most surprising chapter of her life unfolded far from the spotlight. Bonnie Tyler spent much of her later years in Portugal, particularly in the Algarve region. She wasn't just a visitor. She became part of the local community. Friends and neighbors described her as warm, humble, and approachable despite her worldwide fame. She embraced Portugal as a second home, building lasting friendships and quietly enjoying life away from the pressures of the entertainment industry. That is exactly why the reaction following her passing became so emotional. Portugal's parliament unanimously approved a voto de pesar, or vote of condolence, a formal parliamentary tribute reserved for individuals whose lives leave a meaningful impact on society. In their official statement, lawmakers described Bonnie Tyler's passing as an enormous loss not only for world music but also for the countless people in Portugal who admired her talent and kindness. It wasn't simply about honoring a celebrity, it was about recognizing someone who had become part of the nation's cultural fabric. As news of her death spread, social media filled with emotional tributes from fans who shared stories of growing up with her music. Some remembered dancing to Holding Out for a Hero. Others recalled hearing Total Eclipse of the Heart during unforgettable moments in their lives. Across different generations and different countries, one thing became clear. Bonnie Tyler's music had quietly become the soundtrack to millions of personal memories. That kind of connection cannot be measured by awards or album sales. It can only be measured by the emotions people continue to feel decades later. In today's music industry, where trends come and go within weeks, Bonnie Tyler's story reminds us that true greatness isn't built on viral moments. It's built on songs that survive generations. It's built on resilience, authenticity, and the courage to keep performing long after the spotlight moves elsewhere. She transformed what many considered a career-ending vocal injury into the voice that defined her legacy. That alone is a lesson in determination that every aspiring artist can learn from. As Portugal's parliament honored Bonnie Tyler in a way few international artists have ever experienced, it became clear that her influence reached far beyond music charts. She wasn't remembered simply because she sold millions of records. She was remembered because her songs became part of people's lives, their memories, and their emotions. Even decades from now, new generations will continue discovering Total Eclipse of the Heart, It's a Heartache, and Holding Out for a Hero. Every new listener will experience the same powerful voice that once captivated the entire world. Perhaps that is the greatest achievement any artist can hope for. Not simply to be famous, but to create music that continues to connect people long after the headlines have faded. Now we'd love to hear from you. Which Bonnie Tyler song has stayed with you through the years? Was it Total Eclipse of the Heart, It's a Heartache, or another favorite? Share your memories in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to rediscover the music of one of the greatest voices of all time.